Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to DESI TV USA. I am Tabanda Gul. Let's take a look at the headlines. Imran Khan and his wife Bushra Bibi have been sentenced to imprisonment and fines in the £190 million references case. US ban on TikTok set to take effect on January 19. What TikTok user can expect at US ban nears. Israel airstrike killed over 17 people in Gaza overnight hours after ceasefire and hostage deal announced. Billions of dollars needed to rebuild Gaza after war, says United Nations. Biden's legacy on the world stage likely defined by handling of Gaza war. Will Los Angeles wildfires hurt Democrats in California? SEF Ali Khan stab at home robbery attempt on inside job. Underwater dragon dance in Bangkok kicks off Lunar New Year celebration. SpaceX Starship prototype breakups in space after launch from Texas. These are headlines. Lead to news detail. Imran Khan was accused of misuse of authority and making a secret agreement while Bushra Bibi was charged with aiding her husband's illegal activities. The court ordered the nationalizations of Al-Qadir University and the verdict was announced at Adiala Jail under tight security arrangement. Allegations were made against Imran Khan and Bushra Bibi for making a secret agreement with a property tycoon causing a loss to the national treasury, and land was illegally acquired for the establishment of Al-Qadir University. NAB investigated the case with both accused being part of the inquiry process. These decisions mark a significant turning point in the country's politics and accountability process. United States TikTok ban set for January 19. US ban on TikTok is expected to take effect on January 19 unless its parent company ByteDance sell its US asset. Apple and Google will remove the app from their stores. Limited updates and downloads. Workarounds like VPNs are unlikely to work effectively. Senate Democrats have urged President Biden to delay the ban, but the decisions may fall to the incoming administrations. The Supreme Court is also reviewing the law's constitutional. Many users are exploring alternative platforms as the deadline approaches. In a devastating escalation, Israeli airstrike overnight killed more than 70 people in Gaza, according to reports from local residents and medical services in the region. This violent attack came just hours after a historic ceasefire agreement and a hostage release deal were announced, aimed at bringing an end to the 15-month-long war between Israel and Hamas. The sudden airstrike shattered the fragile hopes of peace, highlighting the deepening tensions and mistrust that continue to mar the ongoing conflict. The ceasefire had been seen as a breakthrough after months of intense fighting that resulted in significant loss of life, widespread restrictions, and a humanitarian crisis in Gaza. The deal was celebrated by some as a potential turning point, but this deadly attack raises questions about the viability of the agreement and whether both sides are truly committed to ending the violence. In Gaza, hospital and emergency responders have been overwhelmed as medical teams rush to treat the wounded and identify the victims of the overnight bombings. The death toll is expected to rise as more bodies are recovered from the rubble. The situations remain dire, with the local population living in constant fear for further airstrike. The timing of the attack has further complicated diplomatic effort as the international community calls for an immediate halt to the violence. Both Israel and Hamas have yet to comment on the new round of hostilities, but the incidents serve as a stark reminder of the complexity and brutality of the conflict, which has claimed thousands of lives and displaced many more. As the situations unfold, the hope for a lasting peace remains uncertain, with the people of Gaza bearing the brunt of the ongoing violence. The United Nations has stated that rebuilding Gaza will require billions of dollars following the war between Israel and the Palestinian militant group Hamas. The region has suffered extensive damage during the ongoing conflict, leaving much of its infrastructure destroyed and many residents displaced. Assessments from the United Nations highlight the immense financial challenges in restoring the area and providing much-needed humanitarian aid to the affected population. The cost of reconstruction is expected to rise as more detailed evaluations are conducted, with a focus on rebuilding homes, schools, hospitals, and critical infrastructures. The international community faces pressures to address the need of Gaza's residents and provide assistance in rebuilding after the devastating conflict.
You came to this country for a brighter future for you and your loved ones. You've made it this far. Now it's time to become a citizen. With citizenship, you gain the right to vote, access to federal jobs, the ability to keep your family closer, and the freedom to travel with a U.S. passport. These are just a few of the benefits waiting for you when you become eligible. We're here to help you through the process with free resources and personalized guidance. Together, we can make it easier. Get started at becomeacitizentoday.com.
A United States President Joe Biden nears the end of his term in office. His legacy on the world stage is expected to be heavily shaped by his handling of the 15-month war in Gaza, the conflict which has resulted in significant loss of life and widespread destructions had dominated international attention throughout Biden's presidency. His administration's diplomatic response, military support to Israel, and efforts to address the humanitarian crisis in Gaza have sparked intense debate and criticism while also drawing praise from some quitters. Biden's approach to the war has been a delicate balancing act, navigating the complex dynamic of United States-Israel relations, Middle East diplomacy, and global human rights concerns, while his support for Israel's right to defend itself has been a central tenet of his policy. He has also faced mounting pressures to address the humanitarian needs of Palestinians and to push for a ceasefire. The outcome of the conflict, along with Biden's handling of the crisis, is likely to be one of the defining elements of his foreign policy legacy. As the world watches the final stages of the war and efforts toward peace, the long-term impact of Biden's decisions on the Middle East and his standing in global diplomacy will be a critical part of his presidential record. The devastating wildfires in Los Angeles have claimed the lives of 25 people and destroyed over 12,300 structures, leaving communities in shock and grief. In the aftermath, California officials, including Governor Gavin Newsom and Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, have faced criticism for their handling of the crisis, with occasions of inadequate response and lack of preparedness. These strategies have ignited a political debate. Will the wildfire impacts the Democratic Party's hold on California, a state long considered a stronghold for the party? With frustrations mounting over the handling of the disasters, some critics have questioned the effectiveness of local and state leadership. However, it remains to be seen whatever these criticisms will lead to any significant political shift in the state. The questions arise: could former President Donald Trump capitalize on the crisis and flip California in a future election? While California has consistently voted blue in recent presidential elections, the wildfire disaster and concern over governance could provide an opening for Trump and the Republican Party to galvanize support, especially among voters frustrated with the current leadership. Ultimately, the political fallout from the wildfire will depend on how voters perceive the response and whatever the crisis become a focal point in the larger political landscape. While California remains a deeply democratic state, the wildfire may serve as a reminder of the vulnerability of the incumbent leader, especially if their handling of national disaster is seen as ineffective. Bollywood actor SEF Ali Khan has been stabbed in his Mumbai home, sending shockwaves through India's entertainment industries and beyond. The actor sustained deep wounds to his neck and near his spine in the attack, but is now out of danger, according to medical reports. The incident occurred in an upscale Mumbai neighborhood known for its high-end real estate, with flats value between 50 to 70 crore rupees. The alarming event has raised several questions. How did the intruder gain access to SEF Ali Khan heavily secured residence? Where was the security during the attack? Was this simply a botched robbery attempt, or could it have been an inside job? The circumstances surrounding the attack remain unclear, and authorities are investigating the incident thoroughly. Given the high-profile nature of the family and the locations of their home, many are questions how such a breach could happen in one of the most secure areas of Mumbai. As the investigations unfold, the public is eager to know whatever the attack was a random crime or something more sinister. This attack has not only shaken the actor's family but also raised concern about the safety of high-profile figures in urban center, fueling speculations about whatever the assailant had inside knowledge of the resident security system. The investigations are ongoing, with authorities looking into all possibilities, including whatever the actor was specifically targeted or if this was a case of mistaking identity. Tourists in central Bangkok witness a mesmerizing underwater dragon dance as Thailand gear up for its annual Lunar New Year celebration. The unique performance featuring dancers submerged in water added a creative twist to the traditional dragon dance. This event marks the beginning of festive activities across the city, blending cultural traditions with innovative flair as Thailand prepares for the Lunar New Year. A SpaceX Starship prototype disintegrated in space just minutes after its launch from Texas, marking a dramatic setback from the company's ambitious space exploration's goal. The fiery aftermath of the explosion was visible from here, capturing the intense and chaotic end to the spacecraft's brief journey. SpaceX has not yet provided full details, but the incident raises questions about the spacecraft development and future testing. This is the latest in a series of trails as SpaceX works to perfect its Starship design for eventual missions to the moon, Mars, and beyond. So thank you for supporting and thank you for watching. This is me, Tabinda, signing off. Stay tuned for more news. DESI TV USA, DTV NNR, OTT platform, DTV Flex, where you can access to over 3,000 channels. So stay tuned and stay with us.